Actually, let's stick a bit more light on. It's worse than useless, so let's not put the light on. So we start with a comfortable stance. The way that we look at the comfortable stance is it's a way that allows the body to be relaxed and mobile. So I'm not interested in sort of hitting the correct position here as much as I'm interested in allowing the body to be relaxed. So to help the body relax, lift Bachwei, lift the crown and allow the neck to soften and open. There's an idea of lift Huiyin. Huiyin is in the center of the pelvic area and it's gently cradling yourself. And then allowing Huilu, the tailbone, to naturally relax. If this feels at all awkward, just allow the body to gently sway. Just allow the body to be relaxed. And you may notice that the breath just becomes a little easier. We can relax the breath. We can allow it to sink further down into the abdomen. And then mobilize the neck. No specific movement here. It's just opening up space in the neck, releasing the neck. Whatever movement works for you today. So once you've opened up a little bit of space in the neck, you've released the neck a little. Shift the awareness down into the mid-spine and here, draw the shoulder blades closer together. Then release the shoulder blades apart. Now you can follow the breath with this. So the in-breath draws the shoulder blades together. The out-breath releases them. But as you do this, I want you to notice the mid-spine. So as the shoulder blade squeezed, opens up space in the front of the mid-spine. And as the shoulder blades release, it opens up space in the back of the mid-spine. Mobilizing mid-spine. Very relaxed movement. Very relaxed. So from noticing the spine, expand the awareness out slightly. So when the shoulders open, notice the whole of the upper back. Open and release. When the shoulder blades draw closer together, notice the whole of the chest. Open and release. Moving between the two. Opening chest. Opening upper back. A few more times. Starting off very gently today. And then we're going to increase the movement. We're going to extend into the shoulders. So now the shoulders start to roll. They lift at the front and release at the back. Lifting at the front, releasing at the back. Lift at the front, release at the back. Continue a few more times. Opening up from the mid-spine, out through the shoulder blades, into the shoulders. And from shoulders, we're going to extend the movement into the elbows. So the elbows raise at the front and fall at the sides. Rising at the front, falling at the sides, gradually increasing the size of the movement. Bigger circles with the elbows, and then starting to extend out into the wrists, then into the hands, then into the fingers. So releasing from the mid-spine out to the tips of the fingers. Starting to mobilize more of the spine. Just going with whatever movement works for you today. But circles that are releasing from the mid-spine out to the tips of the fingers and mobilizing back. Building the movement little by little. A few more times. And then the next time the hands get to the top, not this time, but the next time, pause at the top. We're going to reverse the movement, relaxing down through the whole of the spine, all the way down. Notice the neck and the mid-spine, notice the lumbar, all the way to the tip of the tailbone. Then open the elbows, wrists, hands and fingers. Raise the hands up. Relax down through the whole of the spine, one vertebra at a time. Relax. Release the arms out, they rise up. Relax. Couple more times. Release. Relax. Release. And relax. Drawing down through the whole of the spine, the tip of the tailbone. Take your time. Enjoy. When you get to the tip of the tailbone, open the hands out as if connecting into the hip joints. Release the hip joints, turn the palms, and then on an out breath, push down, expanding out into the earth. On the in breath, we can gather back into the abdomen, into lower abdomen. Expanding out through the legs, the hips, knees, ankles, and feet, very relaxed. Gathering back in to lower dantian. A few more times. Expand out. Gather back. Out. Back. Out. And back. Pausing at the abdomen, pausing at the belly. And then gently lift up, as if opening up space between each of the vertebrae, connecting up into the blue sky. Draw blue sky down, into the belly, into lower dantian. Expand up. Gather down. Once more. Up. And down. Pausing at lower dantian when you get there, pausing at the navel. And then open the elbows, open the wrists, open the arms, as if relaxing out in all directions. Bring the hands back, bring the mind back. Relax. And gather. Relax. And gather back. And this time, pause when the hands are in front of the navel. Take a few breaths to notice the space inside. Relaxed and quiet. Relaxed and quiet. This space inside, expand the awareness out into the space that you're standing in. Allow the awareness to be bigger than the physical body. Take a few breaths to enjoy the space that you're standing in. Then expand the awareness again into this group, all of us connected, everyone supported, everyone supporting each other, one group, one chi field. And again, take a few breaths to enjoy this connection, this support, this chi field. Then expand the awareness again. People all over, similar practices, everyone connected. Then expand again out into blue sky, out into Hunyuanqi. Everything connected. Anything is possible. Gently draw the hands back towards lower dantian. Bring the mind home. With the intention for today, and the intention is simply create space. Create space for chi to flow. Create space for things to change. Create space. Okay, one of the basic movements of Qigong is La Qi. And La Qi is simply expanding out in all directions, releasing and gathering back inside. But in order for La Qi to work well, we need to create space through the entire body. What we'll do is we'll use some movement to open up the spine. We'll use some movement to open up the hips. And then we'll practice La Qi, where we can allow chi to flow. We can expand out and gather back. Very relaxed way. So the hands draw back in front of lower dantian, then relax to the sides. So the thumbs turn to face forwards, and as they do, imagine the whole of the front of the body just gently opening. Not a big movement. Then the thumbs turn to face back, and as they do, notice the shoulder blades release, notice the back open. Again, not a big movement. Thumbs forwards, open front of body. Release, open. Thumbs back. Open the shoulder blades, open the spine. Thumbs forwards, open the front. Thumbs back, open the back. Once more, small movements, opening the front. Everything is opening. Thumbs back, opening the back. And then we're going to start to increase the movement. So as the thumbs turn forwards, allow the hands to move out from the body slightly. Raise the hands. And then as the thumbs turn back, allow the body to bow down slightly. So creating a little bit more movement. When you open the front, the hands rise a little bit further. Open a little bit more of the front of the body. And the thumbs turn back, bow down a little further. Releasing a little bit more space in the back. Open front. And open back. Allowing the movement to increase slowly. Never expanding further than you feel comfortable. Bigger and bigger movements there. Each time it can get a little bit bigger. Opening up a little bit more space. And As the movement increases inside, shift the awareness so that when you bow down, you're opening the central channel in the back, the whole of the spine. When you rise up, you're opening the whole of the central channel in the front of the body. You haven't got to wonder where it is, it's the central channel that's in the middle. When you open the front, you can feel that extension opening out to the tips of the fingers. When you open the back, you may feel that extension all the way down the legs, down into the tips of the toes. Whole body moving gently, qi flowing well. Continue a few more times. Whole of the spine open and relaxed. Two central channels open and qi flowing well. Then the next time the hands rise up, allow them to pause at the top. No hurry in getting there. But when they're there, allow the body to move gently, like a reed in the river. At no point is the body held. It's always relaxed. And then we can gently draw qi down. Draw the hands down, and so they're focusing into the top of the neck. Then draw down through each vertebra of the neck, opening up the space between the vertebrae, down into the mid-spine, down through the mid-spine into the lumbar, through the lumbar to the tip of the tailbone, then open out into the hips, release down through the legs. Notice the knees. If the hands will continue down, they can touch the ankles. If not, just notice the ankles, notice the feet. Then lift qi up. Lift the hands up. Draw qi down through the whole of the back, into the neck, into the mid-spine, into the lumbar, down to the tip of the tailbone, out to the hips, down through the legs, through the knees, the ankles and the feet. Lift qi up. And draw qi down. This time just down as far as lower dantian, but take your time. Down through the whole of the spine, but pausing at the navel. And just take a moment here. Hands facing, effectively you're facing the small of the back. Opened up the spine, we've released the spine. So now release the arms out, straighten the body up. So if we're opening up the whole of the spine, expanding down through the feet, up through the head, out through the hands. Gently draw back, soften the knees, gather back into lower dantian. Kai is open, it's release, it's relax. Is gather back. Release. Gather back inside. The idea more important than the movement. A couple more times. Release, expand. Gather back inside. gathering the hands back in front of lower dantian. We're going to do some work into the hips. So draw the hands back so they sit on the lowest rib. If this feels uncomfortable, you can relax the hands to the sides. Squat down slightly. And then push the left hip out. Push it forwards, across the front to the right, and draw it back. Across to the left, drawing circles with the tailbone. If you're seated doing this, you can imagine circling the small of the back. If you're standing, circle the tailbone. And just notice how much movement you've got. Just sort of push the boundaries a little bit on the movement. And the movement should be isolated if you're standing between the lowest rib and the knee. If you're seated, you have a limitation because you're seated. So just notice how much movement you have when you're seated while keeping the shoulders still. Relax into the movement. So whether you're working into the hips or you're working into the small of the back, you're working into the tailbone, just that soft rotation, releasing, letting go. A few more times in this direction. And then we can gently change direction. So at the front it goes from the right to the left. And you get to the back from the left to the right. And again, big circles to start. See where the limitation of movement may be. See how it is today. And then soften into the movement, relax. Release and open. As you do this, the limitations start to fall away. It's just mobilizing, opening and releasing. A few more times in this direction. Then keep the circling going, release the hands to the sides, give them a little shake, allow the whole body to get involved. It's just sort of absent-mindedly circling the body, circling the hips. Let the movement subside. And then a gesture, release the hands out. Gather them back in front of lower dantian. Take a moment here. Notice the space inside again. And then expand. Release. Gather back. Release, expand. Gather back. Release. Gather back. More times. And pausing at lower dantian when you come back. In one more sequence of movements. Turn the palms to face up and allow the hands to spiral up, So if the mind's connecting up into the blue sky and then the hands spiral out to the sides, the mind expanding out into the far distance. The hands draw back under the armpits in front of the abdomen, then spiral up, releasing and opening out into blue sky, gathering back. Allow the whole body to be involved, spiraling up, straighten the legs. Release out in all directions. Gathering back, soften the knees. Gather back inside. Out. Into blue sky. Back inside. Release. And gather. Release. Gather. Couple more. Release. Gather. Release. And spiral up into the blue sky. They pause at the very top, whole of the body expanded out. And here, standing, draw feet slightly closer together. They haven't got to be completely together, just a slightly closer stance. And we'll reverse the movement. Draw chi down through the center of the body, down into lower dantian, down into the abdomen. Squat down slightly. Gather in. Push the little fingers back and the hands spiral out and up. Gather back inside. The idea more important than the movement here. Spiraling out, releasing. And taking some time to draw in fresh blue sky, fresh potential into all that space that you've created. Release, spiral out, create space. Draw chi back into lower dantian. Release. Gather. Relax into the movement. It can soften, it can change, as long as the mind stays spiraling out and gathering back. Continue. Just enjoy the idea, enjoy the flow of the movement, releasing out and gathering back. Release out. Gather back. Couple more. Release out. Gather back. Last time. Release out. Gather back, and the hands pause in front of the abdomen, in front of lower dantian. If you're standing, open the stance a little. If you're seated, just find a comfortable posture. We're going to spend a few minutes nourishing chi, which involves doing nothing, apart from allowing the mind to rest quietly in lower dantian. So the posture supports the idea of the mind gathering back into lower dantian. And within Qigong we say Yi-Dao, Qi-Dao, where the mind goes, the Qi follows. So if the mind rests in lower dantian, Qi accumulates in lower dantian. If or when the mind flits off into all kinds of amazing thoughts and ideas, gently draw it back. Let's put our chi back inside. Let's nourish chi for a few breaths. Quiet and relaxed. Just enjoy each breath, each moment. Quiet and relaxed. Then, having allowed the mind to settle, having allowed ourselves to nourish chi, release the elbows, release the wrists, expand out one more time. La chi, simple la chi, expand and gather back. Expand out, gather back. Expand out and gather back. A few more, your own time, releasing and gathering. Release and gather. Hands pausing in front of lower dantian just for a moment. To draw to a close, relax the hands to the sides and lift chi up. Hands connecting up into the blue sky. It doesn't matter how. And gently draw chi down. Notice the center of the head. Upper dantian, Shenji Palace, clear and bright. Notice the center of the chest, healthy and normal. Notice the center of the abdomen, chi is abundant. Lift chi up. Draw chi down, center of head, clear and bright, full of blue sky. Center of chest, healthy and normal. Center of abdomen, chi is abundant. Once more, lift chi up. Draw chi down to lower dantian. Take your time. Everything connected, everything supporting everything else. Chi is abundant. Hands pause in front of lower dantian when they get there. To draw to a close, draw the feet closer together. Release the hands to the sides, and one last gesture, the hands spiral out in front. Draw chi back, one hand on top of the other. Undo chi on the navel. Mind rests in lower dantian. Mind rests in the abdomen. Nourish chi for a few breaths. Then relax the hands to the sides and gently ease out. If you'd like to unmute yourself to do a howler at the end, please do. Howler means good already, so if you'd like to unmute.